tears falling from the eyes of Jungkook are not a sight often seen in public. However, sources circulating on various social media platforms have triggered a wave of speculation and bewilderment that has yet to subside to this day. Why does the figure known as BTS's Golden Magne appear so emotional? Even more surprising, why are there reports stating that HYBE, the company managing BTS, is reluctant to arrange a meeting with Taekook, the combined name of Taehyung and Jungkook that has become an icon of friendship within the fandom? Is this merely a misunderstanding, or is there a serious tension brewing behind the scenes? Before we continue, ARMY, are you truly one of us? If you are, prove it now by smashing that subscribe button before you miss the biggest updates ever. Hit subscribe right this second and be the very first to uncover every explosive detail about Jungkook, Taehyung, and BTS. Unofficial reports emerging from various channels such as TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and international forums indicate something unusual. Video clips, candid photos, and fan narratives depict moments when Jungkook was seen lowering his head, wiping his eyes, and walking quickly without giving any statement. The public wonders, what exactly is happening behind these visible emotions? Is this a sign of a rift beginning to form within the group that has dominated the global stage for years? Many K-pop music industry observers believe this situation has the potential to become a crucial turning point in BTS's internal dynamics. The name Taekook, long associated with the close relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook, has now become a focal point sparking debate. Why does HYBE seem to be avoiding a meeting between the two? Is there a business consideration, a specific agenda, or an even more complex conflict? These questions continue to swirl in the minds of fans, fueling heated discussions in various ARMY community forums. It cannot be ignored that emotional moments like this often become the starting point for rumors to grow wildly. Some fans believe this is merely a series of misunderstandings exaggerated by the media and netizens. However, not a few also see HYBE's stance in this situation as evidence of a serious communication gap between management and its artists. Could it be true that a company as large as HYBE would take steps to avoid the interaction of two members loved by millions worldwide? And if so, what consequences would arise, both for BTS as a group and for the individuals involved? The use of the word feud in this discussion is certainly not without reason. In the entertainment industry, especially at the global level like BTS, internal tensions can have far greater impacts than what appears on the surface. Fans demand clarity, while speculation intensifies. The fact that this information is circulating from various different sources and has not been officially confirmed only further clouds the atmosphere. Is this part of a strategy to shape a certain narrative in the media? Or is there truly a conflict being deliberately hidden from the public? Artist-management relationship analysts remind us that relationships among members in a group as big as BTS are not just about personal friendships, but are closely tied to contracts, work schedules, and public image. If HYBE truly chose not to facilitate a meeting between Taehyung and Jungkook, then such a decision likely has strategic reasons, whether related to upcoming projects, promotional direction, or even contract negotiations. However, without transparency, all these reasons will remain a mystery that fuels wild speculation. But on the other hand, ARMY, as a militant fan base, plays a major role in keeping watch on this issue. Some voices urge fans not to rush to conclusions without solid evidence. Yet in the digital era, public opinion can be formed from just a few seconds of video footage or a single photo going viral on Twitter. Are we witnessing the early signs of a real fracture, or merely victims of a clever, sensational narrative game? These questions become even more relevant when we remember that Taekook's popularity has long been a topic of discussion, sometimes even controversy, within the BTS community. The two have often been subjects of fan theories, video edits, and lengthy forum debates. Could it be that this very popularity is the reason HYBE is creating distance between them? Or is it a reaction to rumors that have gone too far? All these possibilities remain open, and so far, there is no definitive answer. For some fans, the moment Jungkook cried serves as undeniable proof of emotional pressure he is facing. But are those tears truly connected to the Taekook issue? or triggered by something entirely different. This is what makes the situation even more complicated. Without a clear statement, the public can only guess, while social media continues to shape narratives that align with each perspective. Amid all this confusion, we must ask ourselves, to what extent are we capable of being critical towards circulating information? Are we merely absorbing and resharing what we see on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, or can we separate fact from speculation? In the entertainment world, laden with business interests and marketing strategies, not everything visible on the surface reflects reality. The fact that BTS is a global phenomenon means any news about them instantly grabs the world's attention. But this great attention also means that any issue, no matter how small, can quickly escalate into an international controversy. This is where ARMY's role becomes vital, not just as passive listeners, but as critical observers. Do we truly believe HYBE is avoiding a Taekook meeting for certain reasons? Or is this merely a coincidence being misinterpreted? It must be remembered that the information we have now comes from fragments scattered across social media, often detached from their original context. Without verification, these fragments can form a narrative completely different from reality. This must be a shared concern. Every fan has the right to know the truth, but also the responsibility not to spread unverified information. In the end, the most important question is, are we witnessing a real feud within BTS, or are we merely part of a media drama designed to attract attention? Are Jungkook's tears a sign of an unhealed wound, or simply an emotional moment misinterpreted? The answers to these questions may not come as quickly as we wish. But until that time arrives, it is important for all of us to remain vigilant, critical, and not get trapped in narrative games that may obscure the truth. This phenomenon, when viewed from the public's perspective, raises a big question. Are we truly witnessing an actual event, or are we being led to believe in a deliberately crafted scenario? Tears seen in the eyes of Jungkook are not just ordinary emotions. They have a powerful visual and emotional impact on anyone who sees them. But does that impact reflect factual events, or is it part of a series of occurrences designed to provoke an emotional response from fans? The public, especially the ARMY community, must face an uncomfortable question. Have we been too quick to believe narratives circulating on social media simply because they come with captivating visuals and are wrapped in dramatic headlines? Video snippets spread on TikTok, short posts on Twitter, and clips published on YouTube may appear convincing. But do we truly know the context of those moments? Or are we accepting those snippets as absolute truth without questioning the sources and intentions behind their dissemination? In the digital era, information moves far faster than clarification. A single image can be interpreted in thousands of ways. A single emotional sentence can be broken down, edited, and reshared until its meaning shifts from the original context. In the case of Jungkook and the rumors about HYBE allegedly avoiding a Taekook meeting, we must ask, is all this really happening as we imagine? Or are we simply trapped in the cycle of consuming sensational news, where factual truth becomes a casualty to satisfy the public's thirst for drama? Consider the fact that the information we have comes from platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, platforms that do not always prioritize verification before publication. Is it reasonable to place our full trust in information that may have gone through multiple stages of editing by parties with no interest in preserving the truth? Should we not be more skeptical toward narratives that are too perfectly crafted to stir emotions? When we talk about the word feud, the public's mind often jumps straight to an irreconcilable conflict. But is there truly such a large-scale dispute happening behind BTS's closed doors? Or is the word feud merely being used as a rhetorical tool to sway opinion, create tension, and drive clicks? If so, who benefits from the rise of this perception? And more importantly, who might become the victim of a narrative built without a solid, factual foundation? It is crucial to understand that in the entertainment industry, image is an asset as valuable as the music itself. Every action, every gesture, even every expression can be used to build or destroy an image. Is it not possible that we are witnessing part of a deliberate strategy, where the appearance of tension between BTS members is used as fuel to maintain public relevance? If so, where do fans stand in this grand scheme? Are they merely passive consumers, or are they unknowingly becoming agents spreading the narrative? As news consumers, we often forget that not all information that appears dramatic reflects reality. Hoaxes, disinformation, and selective framing can create a picture far different from the truth. In this case, we must reflect. Are Jungkook's tears a genuine expression of unresolved internal conflict, or are they simply a coincidence later manipulated by the media for certain purposes? Are we truly able to tell the difference? This reflection is important because without critical awareness, we are vulnerable to becoming victims of sensationalism. The worst-case scenario is that we help spread baseless narratives that ultimately harm the very people we support. Is it right for us to continue talking about the possibility of a feud if we do not have verifiable proof? Or are we reinforcing an unhealthy culture of news consumption, where drama matters more than truth? At this point, a fundamental question arises. Are we seeking the truth, or merely entertainment? If our goal is to know the reality, then every piece of information must go through a verification process. But if what we seek is only drama, then we are no different from those who turn rumors into commodities. Are we willing for our position as fans to shift into becoming part of a machine producing sensation that could sacrifice our idols' reputations? It cannot be denied that BTS is at a level of popularity where every move is watched extremely closely. In such an environment, even a small mistake or emotional moment can easily be blown out of proportion. But should we not give them space to be ordinary human beings who can experience emotions without fear of being interpreted as signs of a feud? If not, then we risk turning every interaction into endless speculation. We must also acknowledge that news wrapped in clickbait style has an extraordinary appeal. Headlines like Jungkook Cries, HYBE refuses to meet Taekook are nearly impossible to ignore. But does this appeal come from its informative value, or from its ability to stir our curiosity and emotions? Are we aware that such curiosity can be a weapon used to direct our opinions in line with a certain agenda? At this point, we face a moral dilemma. On one hand, we want to know the truth about what happened. On the other, we must ensure that our curiosity does not make us part of irresponsible rumor spreading. Are we able to hold ourselves back from sharing unverified information, even if it is incredibly tempting to share? Or will we remain trapped in the cycle of fast news consumption that often sacrifices accuracy for speed? Ultimately, it all comes down to our willingness to be critical. Do we truly believe this event is real, or is it merely a fabrication aimed at attracting media attention? This question should not be answered hastily. It requires mature thought, clear consideration, and an awareness of the complexity of the entertainment industry. We must recognize that the truth is not always easy to find, and that sometimes what appears dramatic on the surface is merely a shadow of a much simpler reality, or the opposite. The information we present here comes from various media sources, including TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and several other platforms. However, the truth of this information still requires further verification. Therefore, we urge you, the readers, not to immediately believe every piece of news that circulates. Be skeptical, ask questions, and always consider the possibility that what you read or see may not fully reflect reality. Before you decide to take a position in this debate, ask yourself, am I fighting for the truth, or am I merely seeking emotional satisfaction from a dramatic narrative? Am I helping spread useful information, or am I strengthening a harmful circle of rumors? The answers to these questions will determine how far we can become responsible consumers of information, and ultimately, whether we are intelligent viewers or merely part of a crowd swept away by the current of sensation.